Hey everyone, I'm Rachel,
And I'm David.
and we are staying at Disney's All-Star Music Resort at Walt Disney World. Come with us and we'll show you around. Let's go! Disney's All-Star Music Resort opened in 1994 and has approximately 1,600 rooms. It's spread out over 10 buildings that are themed to 5 different types of music: Calypso, rock and roll, jazz, country, and Broadway.
All-Star Music is a value resort, which means it is a little further from the parks than some of the more expensive Disney properties, and really just has the basic necessities that you need when making a trek to Disney World. However, you still get some pretty great perks.
All guests of Disney's All-Star Music Resort get a half-hour early entry to the parks every day. While some non-resort guests might also enter the park, only those staying at the resort hotels will be able to go past the rope drop area half-hour early and start to enjoy the rides. This gave us a huge jumpstart on our mornings at Epcot and Animal Kingdom, where we rode Frozen Ever After and Avatar Flight of Passage before the parks even officially opened.
You also get free shuttles to and around the parks. The shuttle pickup is conveniently located to the side of the lobby with dedicated lanes for each park destination, so there's no confusion which line you should join.
And possibly the biggest perk of all is that if you're planning to use Disney's Fast Pass system called Lightning Lane, you'll be able to book your first 3 selections and buy paid Fast Passes 7 days in advance, as opposed to 3 days for all non-resort guests. This will also give you a big leg up on making sure you get to do all of the attractions that are important to you during your Disney trip.
Now, what's the cost for all those Disney perks? Depending on the time of year, a standard room, which can include either 1 or 2 beds, prices range from $150 to $250 per night before taxes and fees. We stayed the weekend before Thanksgiving and paid $220 per night because that's the start of their busy holiday season. But when we compared other hotels in the area, they were pretty comparable. Disney does offer discounts the longer you stay, and the Wi-Fi is also included in the price.
The Disney treatment starts right from the time you enter the resort area. When you're dropped off at the front door, you walk a red carpet into the lobby. The lobby is pretty small and did get pretty loud, so I wouldn't suggest spending a lot of time there either before checking in or after checking out. We arrived at around 12:30 and knew that check-in didn't officially start until 3 p.m., but there were almost a dozen cast members smiling, waving, and ready to check us in. Our cast member happened to get us a room on the ground floor in the Calypso section, the closest section to the main lobby, even though we were early. But if that wasn't possible, they would have stored our bags and sent me a text when the room was ready.
The music theme follows you throughout the entire resort, with instruments and musical murals on almost every wall. They were just starting to decorate for Christmas when we were there, and even the tree had musical touches.
Right down the hall from the lobby is the notable arcade. They have a large variety of games you can play and even have massage chairs for your tired back and feet after a long park day. There's also a Disney photo booth where you can choose from a variety of Disney-themed photo frames, including Frozen, Marvel, and classic Disney characters. It's $10 for 2 prints.
You can pay to play directly at some machines, while others require a gaming card, which you can purchase and recharge at the front of the arcade. They have a small seating area with more massage chairs for parents, and overall a great mix of classic and newer arcade games.
Maestro Mickey's is the on-property store. It's also music-themed, with framed records and a giant music staff lining the walls. They have some of the same merchandise you can find in the parks and Disney Springs, but they also have a collection specific to the All-Star resorts. This includes t-shirts, a water bottle, and sweatshirts.
The variety of merchandise is large, with a good selection of ears, pins, and general Disney apparel, which is great if you want to buy something to wear in the parks. It was unseasonably cold when we were there, so we saw a lot of people purchasing hoodies and sweaters to wear during their trip.
They have a big section of snacks and drinks, both Disney-themed and not, including chips, bread, and condiments, cereal, candy, and popcorn. Water, milk, soda, Gatorade, and some alcoholic beverages were also for sale. Since every room has a fridge and a microwave, this is a smart play by Disney. But the prices were a little higher than if you brought something in with you, so we recommend making a grocery run instead. That also goes for their wall of essentials, which includes over-the-counter medicines, toiletries, razors, earplugs, you name it. It's great to know they have them in a pinch, but you will get charged a higher price than at a pharmacy or a grocery store.
Also located in the main building is the Intermission Food Court. Every all-star resort has a similar food court and we love it. It's like many venues in Walt Disney World, they accept mobile orders, so we like to place an order on our way back from the parks and pick it up on the way to our hotel room. There's even a mobile order pickup area so you can avoid walking through the sometimes crowded food area. They're even open for breakfast so you can stop in before you make your way to the parks.
They offer traditional food court fare like burgers and chicken tenders, which are divine by the way, but also limited items like stir fry, salads, whole or by the slice pizza, and a ton of kids items. Everything is made fresh to order, and for some reason, the chicken tenders and fries just hit right every time. They also offer a ton of dessert and pastry variety, even some no sugar added options. Another great feature is that they have a grab and go section where you can find things like drinks, pre-made sandwiches, fruit, and snack trays to take with you.
The drink dispensers offer a good variety of options, including sodas, teas, and coffee. The cups have a chip in them that activates the dispenser when it is placed on top and gives you 3 refills and a time limit for when you can use them. While unlimited refills would be nice, I get that they don't want guests buying 1 cup for their entire trip and continuing to reuse it.
I love that you can get things you'd normally only find in the parks at this cafeteria, including Mickey Waffles, which were delicious and fresh, honestly better than some I've had in the parks.
There's also a ton of space to hang out in booths and tables, and the entire seating area is themed with cartoons of the Fab Five. Our flight home wasn't until later that day, so we hung out there after checkout. We were able to find some tables near the wall with wall plugs so we could be on our laptops until it was time to go. There's even a kids' corner where they play cartoons and have shorter tables and chairs for the little ones.
Another place to get a beverage or a quick snack at the All-Star Music is the Singing Spirits Pool Bar. It's located right outside the Intermission Food Court across from the pool. They have light snacks like a Mickey pretzel, Italian sub, or charcuterie, and some fruit smoothies and lemonades if alcohol isn't your thing. But if it is, they have a large selection of beer, wine, cocktails, and margaritas that should satisfy everyone's tastes.
Now on to the room. We ended up with an accessible room on the first floor of one of the Calypso buildings. Calypso is the first section of the resort right by the lobby and the main pool, so it can be kind of loud. We got really lucky and our room was a little off of the main path, so we didn't have any noise complaints at all.
Accessing our room was easy. They gave us each a key which the cast member customized with our names and some cute Mickey ears. We also linked our magic bands to our reservation so we could enter either way. Both items would allow us to enter our room, charge merchandise and food to our room, redeem lightning lanes, and gain early entry for resort guests in the parks.
The room had a few Disney touches, like pictures of Mickey and friends above the bed, and it was all pretty spacious. We think that's because this room was marked as an accessible room. The thermostat was pretty standard and went down to 68 degrees by itself. I was able to play with it and get it hacked down to 65, which ended up being perfect for us.
The decor is a little dated, but it was very clean, and I love that there are hard floors. Carpet in hotel rooms always sketches me out. There was a slight musty smell, but we've come to learn that's typical in hotel rooms in humid climates. There was some storage in the kitchenette area with the ice bucket and some cups on top. You have a standard Cuisinart coffee machine and a fridge, which actually did keep things cold. There's a desk with a rolling chair and a flat screen TV over a dresser. Inside is the safe and lots of additional storage, all with the quiet closed drawers which we appreciated. The trash bin was separated into trash and recycling.
There are some outlets on the dresser, which was nice for us to plug in a laptop so that we could hook it up to the TV. The TV did swivel a little, which helped, but it was still pretty difficult to get to the HDMI ports. There were plenty of extra ports though, and we were able to get hooked up relatively quickly.
The closet area was a little strange, and again, we don't really know if that's because we had an accessible room. But the hangers were all low to the ground along with the iron and hairdryer. If you want to hang a dress or longer items, this closet won't work for you. There were plenty of hangers for our purposes, but if you have a whole family in there, you might need more.
We loved the hooks on the wall, and we used those for our jackets and hats so we didn't take up any closet space. We had an extra chair beside the bed, which is where we ended up storing our luggage.
The bathroom had a pocket door, which was fine for us, but if you're rooming with people you're not super comfortable with, you will be able to hear pretty much everything that they're doing in there. The ironing board was in the bathroom, and there were rails everywhere. It was very spacious, but the toilet paper was some of the cheapest we have ever seen.
The vent was pretty powerful, and we love that they gave us extra tissues and toilet paper just in case. The sink and vanity were pretty standard, but they did have a really nice magnifying mirror. The bar hand soap is not our favorite, so we were glad that we brought a small thing of liquid soap with us.
The reason we might have sounded confused about our room being called accessible is the bathtub. Though there were a lot of guardrails in the bathtub, it had a normal height bath lip. All of the controls, shampoo, conditioner, and body wash, plus an extra faucet, were also accessible. But I question if the tub would really work for someone in a wheelchair since they'd have to transfer completely and they don't supply a shower seat. The shower pressure was great though, and the shower was probably the cleanest hotel shower I've seen in a long time.
The room phone was to one side of the bed, and each side of the bed had its own light switches and reading light, though I wouldn't say they're bright enough to really read by. Each side also has 2 regular power plugs and 2 USB, which is more than we see in most hotels. There's also a unique Amazon device in every room that's turned off by default, but if you turn it on and say, "Hello Disney," you can ask it to tell you jokes, play Disney songs, or even tell you information like the weather or park opening times for that day.
They gave us 4 fluffy pillows, which was enough for us, and honestly, the bed was surprisingly comfortable. I would give it an 8 out of 10.
And I would give it a 7.5 out of 10. After 2 long park days, we slept really well and didn't wake up sore from the bed being stiff at all.
Once we were settled in our room, we wanted to explore the rest of the resort and see all of the different sections. Each section plays a different kind of music, which I appreciate. The Calypso area has a huge pool with a statue of the 3 caballeros inside and had multiple lifeguards on duty. We even saw some of the lifeguards playing games with the kids, like asking them to name their favorite Disney characters. This pool is the closest to the main lobby, which means it will be the most crowded.
The next section was the Jazz Inn, decorated with giant brass instruments. There's a smaller pool that's shaped like a piano and some fountains that reminded us of New Orleans. We saw a ton of happy squirrels running around this area, and there was plenty of shade everywhere we went.
The rock and roll section was themed like the 1950s, with neon colors on the guitars and a giant jukebox in the center. There was even an old muscle car for photo ops.
The country section had giant cowboy boots and bolo ties. This was another area with a ton of squirrels, and that's probably because there was a picnic area with Adirondack chairs and benches in the shade. It really seemed like a quiet place to relax.
My favorite section, though, was the Broadway section. It's decorated to look like New York, with trees symmetrically lining the street, park benches, and even road signs. I love the giant Disney on Broadway posters and was thrilled that one of my favorite movies turned Broadway adaptations, Newsies, got the love that it so rightfully deserves. Never fear, Brooklyn is here.
And that's the full tour of Disney's All-Star Music Resort. And now we're off to the parks.
Thanks for joining us on our walkthrough of Disney's All-Star Music Resort. Overall, we really like this hotel. It's very clean, it's very safe, and it's not a luxurious 5-star hotel, but if you're using it like we do, which is basically just a place to crash while you're going to the parks, we think it's totally worth it.
Yeah, it's really beautiful, honestly, and for the price, it's really comparable to other hotels in the area. So with the perks added on, it's really perfect for the way we tackle the parks, and it's going to be an option for us in the future.
For sure. Have you stayed at any of the value resorts at Disney World? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. Until next time, I'm Rachel,
And I'm David.
and we hope this video helped you find the right direction for your next adventure. Bye!